Hi, I'm Maurizio Caio. I'm the managing partner of TLCOM Capital. So it's been a long journey and a very interesting one in which we have learned a lot from literally hundreds of female founders. I would say that at the beginning, 7 years ago, the ecosystem was still in its early stage, still starting to mature, where now it's a more mature. And so I think the evolution has been that we've tried over the years to be more relevant to different segments of founders. So for instance, this year we focused on founders that are a little bit more ahead in their journey so that we could serve their interests and raise issues that were more relevant for them. So I would say the evolution has been to recognize the evolution of the population of female founders and trying to continue to be relevant to them as we try to support them and make them more successful. So the evolution of the ecosystem is such that a lot of the good companies that were very, very small 5 years ago are now becoming more sizable. And so it's important to support the entrepreneurs in their scaling journey. As they age, as the companies become more mature, we need to make sure that they extract the full potential of their capital. So the first point is that we need to recognize the fact that as time goes by, the median age of the startup in the ecosystem grows. And so a lot of these female entrepreneurs that were very early 5 years ago are now growing their companies over time. And we need to be relevant to them and raise issues that are relevant to their stage. And we are certainly adjusting our portfolio construction by, one, being more open to invest not only in early stage companies, but also in later stage companies. And second, in the kind of support that we provide to the entrepreneurs. And this is not true only for female entrepreneurs, but all the entrepreneurs. So for instance, as we work with the companies and they become more mature and they scale, the issues is less about recruiting and finding the first customers and is more about finding more capital for expansion, therefore introducing to other sources of capital, trying to start thinking about exits and so on and so forth. Yeah, this is one of the drivers of growth is international expansion. And I think we try to be very careful with entrepreneurs to make sure that their expansion strategy makes sense, first of all, in the sense of how many markets, which markets, and when is the right time for that expansion. Sometimes when this happens too early, it can be a distraction. When this happens too late, it's a missed opportunity. So there is a need for a lot of wisdom in trying to assist the entrepreneur about their expansion strategy. The fact that we are present in a few different markets obviously helps, but I think even more relevant is that the location of our portfolio companies and our entrepreneurs is growing very much. At the beginning, we were just operating in a couple of markets, Kenya and Nigeria. We're now also live in Egypt, in South Africa, in Ivory Coast, and the number is going up. So when we support entrepreneurs in their expansion, we can also leverage the experience of the other portfolio companies that are operating in those markets. I would say that there is still a phase of growth ahead of us. And so it's important for companies to progress, to have business fundamentals that are evidence of progress or evidence of performance, evidence of value generation. So the first element is the next 5 years will need to see companies that were promising into companies that have fulfilled that promise. At that point, we will have enough material to think about exits. But clearly, the ecosystem needs evidence of returns. This is primarily exits, can be M&A, can be IPOs, but there are also other forms of evidence of return. It can be up rounds by serious investors. It can be the performance of the company. So I think it's about showing returns rather than promising. And to do that, there are many ways of doing it, and we have to do all of them. Look, I think that it's very important for entrepreneurs to be able to have clarity about the strategy of their company and an ability to articulate that strategy very clearly to potential investors. And that is one element. The other is the ability to execute on that strategy, which means the ability to attract people and recruit and expand the team, attract capital for the next phase of growth. And within that picture, it's also important for entrepreneurs to pick the right partners, the right funders. So when I think of female entrepreneurs, I obviously think of the fact that we are a firm that with vast majority of female members in our partnership, in our investment committee, in our firm, and that creates more alignment with female entrepreneurs. So we are a female VC, and therefore I would say that having an ability to recognize that for alignment, it will be an important element for female entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.